Metro TV will be ready in 83 seconds. Good afternoon. This is the regular meeting of the Labor and Economic Development Committee for Tuesday, July 22nd. It is now 3:03 Apple Standard Time. I am Committee Chair Ben Reno Weber, although for today, I would like to ask to be addressed as Champion Chair Ben Reno Weber in honor of Metro Council's victory over the Mayor's office, where we can just note the giantness of the trophy. Based on the athletic performance of, the stunning athletic performance of...
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I believe that we crushed them 21-18, 21-19.
Wow, I believe that is correct, and I appreciate your contributions to that effort, Councilman Herndon.
Councilman Herndon, it's Mr. Champion Chair. Councilman
Herndon has a dig that is pretty remarkable. His back row up setups were honestly pretty striking. So I just, for Metro TV, if you can adjust the caption, that would be Champion Councilman Reno Weber. This meeting is being held pursuant to KRS 61.826 and Council Rule 5A. I am Champion Chairman Reno Weber, and I am joined by my Vice Chair, Councilwoman Crystal Bast, Committee Member and Digger-in-Chief Ken Herndon, Councilwoman Donna Purvis, Councilman Andrew Owen, Councilman Stuart Benson, Councilman Khalil Bat-Shan, and virtually we are joined by Councilwoman Dr. Paula McCraney. All right. Are there any other council people in attendance? No. Okay. Do we have any speakers signed up for this right now?
You have no public hearings.
No public hearings. Excellent. Madam Clerk, will you read item 1?
Can I first read the thing?
Oh, yeah, will you read the
Can
thing?
you move that?
The technical term for it?
This meeting is being held pursuant to KRS 61.826 and Council Rule 5A.
I said that already.
Item 1, a resolution approving the granting of local incentives to Certify Partners LLC and any subsequent assignees or approved affiliates thereof pursuant to KRS Chapter 154, Subchapter 32, read in full.
Do I have a motion? Thank you. Is there any discussion? I believe Josh McKee is here to speak to that.
Good afternoon, champions and Metro Council. Joshua McKee, Executive Vice President of Business Development for the Louisville Economic Development Alliance. Cerity Partners, formerly Argy Financial Group, provides comprehensive integrated financial services for its clients. Located at 2201 High Wickham Place in District 19, Cerity committed to expanding its operations with the addition of 245 new jobs, paying an average hourly wage of $46.80 per hour, with a capital investment of $1.8 million. The company is requesting Kentucky Business Investment Act participation at 1% of the local occupational wage assessment and meets all requirements and compliance standards as established and monitored by the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. Louisville Metro Government and the Louisville Economic Development Alliance are supportive of this request for KBI participation and look forward to its approval.
Excellent. Colleagues, any discussion? Okay, this is a resolution requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The item will be sent to the consent calendar upon unanimous approval of the committee. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 2?
A resolution authorizing the mayor and the Department of Economic Development to request an economic development grant from the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority for the benefit of V Simple Inc. in the amount of $500,000 and to accept said grant if awarded. Read in full.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. McKee?
Good afternoon again. Joshua McKee, Executive Vice President at the Louisville Economic Development Alliance. vSimple Inc. is a software company specializes in creating workflow management platforms designed to streamline operations and improve collaboration, offering customizable AI-powered platforms. The company has received preliminary approval through the Kentucky Economic Development and Finance Authority to relocate its headquarters from New Albany, Indiana to Louisville, creating nearly 200 new high-paying jobs for our community. Located at 2301 River Road in District 4, vSimple is seeking a grant through KEDFA for $500,000 for infrastructure and build-out through the state's Economic Development Fund grant. The process for EDFs require local government to pass an ordinance accepting the state grant money. Compliance monitoring and approvals are conducted by the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, and Louisville Metro government is merely the pass-through for the funds. LMG and the Louisville Economic Development Alliance are supportive of this request for funding and look forward to its approval.
Excellent, thank you. Colleagues, any discussion? I will just note that I am particularly excited about this one, both because it is a relocation and because it is exactly the sort of white-collar jobs that get associated with growing the things that we do as an economic development engine. We make things, we move things, and we serve people, and vSimple is bringing technology to do that. I am so excited to have them in our downtown and to be supporting our companies. So this is an ordinance requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Excellent. This item will be sent to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk, will you read item 3, please?
A resolution authorizing the mayor and the Department of Economic Development to request an economic development grant from the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority for the benefit of Anthro Energy, Inc. in the amount of $750,000 and to accept said grant if awarded. Read in full.
Thank you. Do I have a
Motion.
Second? For the hat trick, Mr. McKee.
All right, for the last time today, Joshua McKee, Executive Vice President at the Louisville Economic Development Alliance. Anthro Energy, Inc., a Silicon Valley-based company that produces electrolytes for lithium-ion batteries to support the EV industry, is building a new, first-of-its-kind facility in the United States here in Louisville, Kentucky. The project will bring nearly $40 million of capital investment and 110 new jobs with an average hourly wage of nearly $40 per hour. Located at 5600 Cane Run Road in District 12, Anthro is seeking a grant through KEDFA for $750,000 for infrastructure and build-out through the state's Economic Development Fund grant. This is similar to the process with vSimple, where the Metro government is merely the pass-through for the funds, and LMG and the Louisville Economic Development Alliance are supportive of this request and look forward to its approval.
Thank you. Colleagues, any discussion? Councilman Owen.
Thank you, Champion Chair. It's not like I'm not pleased with the two items that were before this one, but I just wanted to highlight that this is a almost $40 million investment and a grant of $750,000. I'd say that's a pretty good leverage of our funds. So just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I will also highlight, I love the idea that we originated technology in Silicon Valley, got some initial investment in testing, but when it comes to actually making stuff, and particularly stuff aligned with Kentucky's electric vehicle infrastructure and environmentally friendly battery technology, like, hey, we make stuff here. So very cool. Nice job, Lita. Nice job, economic development. This is an item requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Excellent. This item will be sent to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
A resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following professional service contract for Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness to obtain specialized physician services. Mark S. Jurish, MD, $183,960. Read in full.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak to this?
Good afternoon, Champion Council members. I'm Ben Goldman, the Director of Behavioral Health for Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness, and I'm here to ask permission to sign a contract with the Medical Director for our MORE program, the Medication for Opioid Use Disorder program operated by our local health department. In fiscal year 25, the MORE program served over 1,000 residents both at LMDC and through a partnership with Volunteers of America. We provided both methadone and buprenorphine, the two federally recognized gold standards for treating opioid use disorder, and the two medications most associated with positive outcomes related to long-term health, long-term economic success, and prevention of overdose. The medical director position for this program is critically important. It is legally required that we have a doctor with addiction expertise for regulatory standards. Dr. George has filled this role for more than 20 of the 30 years that this program has been in existence. He is uniquely capable of providing these services and helping to continue to address the opioid crisis in our city.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I do have one question. Do you know, and if you don't have the answer to this, that's fine. Do you know what percentage of the people that we treat in this program are employed?
I beg your pardon?
Do you know what percentage of the people that we treat in this program are employed?
I believe we track that. I can check and get back to you on that.
Okay, I'm just interested because I know this is such an issue within our workforce, and that a high percentage of the folks that are getting treatment in other programs are also participating in the workforce, and this is a necessary part of that. So I'd be interested if you have it. That'd be great.
I will say methadone in general, because of the strict regulatory process, but morning dosing often is associated with people getting a dose on their way to a job.
Yeah. Yes, I had an office that was in the front of a methadone clinic, and many people on their way to, well, that was great. Okay. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, this is an item requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This item passes, and will be on the consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
A resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinance is approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated professional service contract for Louisville Metro Police Department concerning forensic medical services for abused and neglected children. Community Medical Associates, Inc., doing business as Norton Children's Medical Group, $200,000, read in full.
Second.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak to this?
Good afternoon. Congratulations. Glad you all didn't get rained out. My name is Major Jill Bates, and I'm the commander of the Major Crimes Division, and we respectfully request that you continue our contract with Norton's Children's Pediatric Program. They're vital in conducting our forensic interviews of sexually abused and neglected children, and they provide subject matter experts that testify in court for us.
Brilliant. Colleagues, any discussion? Councilman Owen.
Just, we like to ask the question when something's non-competitively negotiated, just kind of the reasons surrounding that. Are there other people who can provide these services?
I apologize. Yeah, actually, the closest other agent, anybody that can provide it is Lexington and Cincinnati, so that's the only one here in the Louisville area.
Perfect, thank you.
Anything else? Thanks. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you all for all y'all do.
True story. Okay, seeing no further discussion, this is an item requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Seeing none, this is an item that will be sent to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
A resolution ratifying and approving a collective bargaining agreement from the date of its approval through June 30, 2029, relating to the wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of employment between Louisville, Jefferson Metro County Metro Government and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Local 2629, AFSCME, concerning employees of Metro Parks Department Maintenance and Recreation Units for whom AFSCME is recognized as the exclusive bargaining representative. Read in full.
I'm done.
Hello, Angela Dunn, Chief Financial Officer. This agreement before you covers approximately 181 positions. It is a 5-year contract covering FY25 through FY29. It includes steps, COLAs, and longevity. FY25 will call for an average wage of approximately 20% retro to July 1st, 2024. FY26 calls for a 3% wage increase. FY27 through 29 will call for a 2% wage increase. The Total cost of the contract is $35.9 million over the 5-year term without fringes and $45.3 million with fringes. It was voted on 37 to 22.
Thank you. Colleagues, any discussion? Councilman Owens.
Angie, the next three here are all contracts that expired in summer of '24. Are these, I know we had, during budget hearings, I know we had a handful of these that were expiring that we were still working on. Are these the last three that have carried over from '24? Are we almost done, or do you know that?
There are 2 more.
And are we close
We're in the
on those two?
process.
Very close. Great. I'm very happy to hear that, and that's great information. Thank you.
Colleagues, any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an item that requires a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent calendar, and I would just add a thank you to our Parks employees for all of the amazing work that you do. We are so grateful to you and to the union that represents you. Madam Clerk.
A resolution ratifying and approving collective bargaining agreement from the date of its approval through June 30th, 2029, between Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government and the American Federation of State and County Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Local 2629, ASME, relating to the wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of employment of certain civilian employees in Louisville Metro Corrections Department. Read in full.
Motion.
All right, Angie Dunn, CFO. This agreement before you covers approximately 79 positions. It is a 5-year contract covering FY25 through FY29. It includes steps, COLAs, and longevity. FY25 calls for average wages of approximately 18%, retro to July 1st, 2024. FY26 through FY29 calls for 2% wage increases. The total cost of the contract is $13.6 million without fringes and $17.2 million with fringes. It was voted 20 to 17.
Okay. Colleagues, any discussion? Councilman Owen.
Thanks. So I'm trying to spread these questions out over these three topics. So a couple of things. These contracts require just a straight majority. So the vote was 20 to 17. So it's just a straight majority of the members.
They have to be dues-paying members. So some of these unions, they have members, but they may not be dues-paying members, and so those dues-paying members are not allowed to vote. So when we talk about the 20 to 17, those are dues-paying members.
Yeah. And then the other thing I like to ask about these contracts, and I'm sure this is part of the process, and you've answered my question in the past before, but I assume that once we've renegotiated this, that we've studied other peer cities and that we're now bringing our workforce up to a level where we're competitive with our peer cities.
Competitively, yes, that is correct.
Great. Thank you.
Great. I will just note that these employees play so many important roles for a very vulnerable population, and it is essential that we get the best and the brightest that we can in those spaces. So thank you for helping us to do that. It is a crying shame that the largest drug treatment facility in the state of Kentucky is our jail. And I appreciate all the people that are involved in making that a continually safer space for people. So this is an item requiring a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, this will move on to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
A resolution ratifying and approving a collective bargaining agreement from the date of its approval through June 30th, 2029, relating to the wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of the employment between Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government and Teamsters Local 783, affiliated with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters of America, representing Louisville Emergency Services Metro Safe Department. Read in full.
Thank you. Angie Dunn, CFO. This agreement before you covers approximately 133 positions. It's a 5-year contract covering FY25 through FY29. It includes steps, COLAs, and longevity. FY25 calls for an average wage increase of approximately 15%, retro to July 1st, 2024. FY26 calls for a 5% wage increase. FY27 calls for a 3% wage increase, and FY28 and 29 call for 2% wage increases each year. Total cost of the contract is $33.4 million without fringes and $42.1 million with fringes. It was voted 63 to 19.
Okay. Colleagues, any discussion? Really? Okay. All right. Yet again, thank you to our fabulous workers and the great work that they do and the unions that represent them. This is an item calling for a voice vote. All of those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please express our condolences to your colleague, Mr. Jackson. We appreciate his valiant efforts on the volleyball court. He really did try.
He just couldn't show his face here today, you know?
I totally understand that. He did well. Not well enough, but well. All right. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance establishing a development area pursuant to provisions of KRS 65.7041 through 65.7083 and KRS 154.30 and -010 through 154.30 through 090 to be known as the Distillery Commons Development Area, designating the Metro Development Authority, Inc. as its agency, adopting a development plan, approving entering into a local participation agreement, authorizing the payment of the released amount pursuant to the terms and conditions of the local participation agreement, requiring the submission of regular reports to the Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government, and authorizing the execution and delivery of other documents and taking of any other actions necessary to complete the purposes authorized in this ordinance. Read in full.
Thank you. Is anyone who is conspicuously absent from the volleyball court here to speak to this?
Jeff O'Brien, Executive Director, Economic Development. Thank you, council members and Dr. Champion Chair. Appreciate the opportunity to be in front of you this afternoon. And I have a bad knee, so I was not on the volleyball court, and I didn't want to create any undue humility.
We appreciate that you and Councilman Owen can cry together around your buttons.
Okay, on to the matter at hand. This ordinance before you is for a tax increment finance district for the Distillery Commons project, which is at the southwest corner of Lexington Road and Payne Street in the Irish Hill neighborhood in District 9. This request is for a local property tax only TIF to support a mixed-use development on the property. This is a 20-year TIF that has an 80-20 split of the Louisville Metro ad valorem and the Urban Services District ad valorem taxes. The developer will also be applying for a state property tax TIF. That will come if the Metro Council approves this TIF. Here's some project stats for this. As I said, it's a mixed-use project. There's $88 million of investment. 11.6 million of that will be in public infrastructure. This is a capped TIF that has a cap of $7,020,514. And again, that is a cap that is rebated to the developer over a 20-year period. It is not a promise. So if the TIFs are performance-based tools, if they do not hit that cap, they are not guaranteed that amount. The project will include 60,000 square feet of office space, 25,000 square foot microbrewery, a 26,000 square foot food hall, which will be run by a local chef who's with us here, Akhtar Narwab. He has restaurants across the United States. It will also include 153 apartment units. 10% of those will be affordable to people making up to 80% of the area median income. It will also include parking. There is a community benefits agreement that is being negotiated with the Irish Hill Neighborhood Association. In addition to other pieces, that agreement will include payment to the Irish Hill Neighborhood Association to help with, my understanding is they're going to help with infrastructure and help residents remain in their homes in the Irish Hill neighborhood. There will also be components regarding neighborhood space, and the neighborhood is working with the developer on some additional components to that. So with that, I'd take any questions, but that is the overview of the project.
Colleagues. Councilman Owen, this is in your district.
It is. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Jeff. We're excited about this. One of the things I said to my Irish Hill constituents is most of my colleagues talk all the time in planning and zoning and other committees about how do I encourage mixed-use development to occur in my district. And so the answer is, I think, density. And this, the more people that you have living in a space that can support first floor retail and other retail, the easier it is to do both residential and commercial within the same development. And so this will add to our density, which I think is a great thing for District 9. It offers a bunch of really cool things that we don't have, both in District 9, but also in many instances within the Urban Services District, the old Urban Services District. So I'm very supportive of this TIF, and I will say again what Jeff just said. You guys have heard me say this before. TIFs, tax increment finance districts, are performance-based incentives. And we have a number of TIFs around town that have never been activated. So if the developer doesn't perform, the TIF never gets activated. And so it's why I think it is such an effective economic development tool. So I generally support TIFs, but I particularly support TIFs in District 9 that add a housing component and a mixed-use component. So this checks a lot of boxes for me. So I would really appreciate your support on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Jeff, you said it is at 10% at 80% AMI?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things that I have struggled with is how do we communicate what AMI really means? Like area medium income, and what is 10%, 80% look like? And so I was trying to think about that as what does that mean in terms of what is the job of somebody who would be eligible for these things? And so I was looking at AI, perplexity in this instance. I was trying to map that. What does it mean 80% AMI? So for a single person to be eligible for this affordable housing, these carve-outs, that would be somebody who has been working on the general GEA line for 3-ish years. That's the sort of, or a restaurant manager, right? That would be, those are that's the population. So it is not servers, but it is, and it is not your first year at GE, but it is 3 to 5. And that is a meaningful piece in terms of affordable housing.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, so again, these are market rate projects. And so what we're trying to do is introduce a little bit of workforce housing into those projects. Now, when we look at the low-income housing tax credit or our affordable housing programs, we try to get to that 50 to 60% AMI, sometime down to the 30% AMI, which is generally public housing. That 50 to 60%, while it can be in a market rate project, it really needs some additional support. And so while our TIF tool is powerful in order to help get mixed-use developments and redevelopment projects over the finish line, it's really probably not enough to really get to that 60 and 50% AMI amount. So in this case, we feel like we can get to that workforce amount. In this case, we have 153 units, so their baseline here would be 15 of those units would be reserved for workforce folks. And then we do monitor those units for compliance to make sure that they are in compliance with that guideline, and they're renting those units out to people that are income eligible.
Councilman Owen.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times, and it's super important that we try to hit, some of our lower levels, 30%, 50%, 60%. But I also want to make sure we don't discount how important it is to focus on these kinds of situations as well. 80% of AMI allows some people to live in our neighborhood, to live in my neighborhood, that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to live there. And so I don't want to discount that. That is also important. So just wanted to.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I want us to be having that conversation. Yeah. This is how people can afford to live in places they otherwise might not be able to, who are working people, tradespeople with skills. I just got to Councilwoman Purvis's height. Councilwoman Purvis.
That's how Jeff O'Brien spiked on you right there.
Mr. O'Brien, can you give us an example of 80% of AMI for those renting a place, renting a unit in this building, please?
Yeah, so typically speaking, and depending where rents are and what part of the community, and your 80% rent is going to be somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a month.
Affordable to a GE appliance worker, a restaurant manager, not everyone, but.
What if I drive a school bus?
Driver of a school. 80% is 54,000. What's JCPS driving right now? About 56? Yes. JCPS bus driver, affordable. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. This is an item that requires a voice vote. All those in favor,
No, I'm
please.
sorry, this is roll call.
Oh, this is roll call. All right. This is an item requiring a roll call vote.
The voting's open. Councilwoman Purvis? That was a yes. Councilwoman McCraney?
Councilwoman Dr. McCraney?
I'm going to see if I can unmute her.
It's like twinsies going on.
JCPS driving right now? About 56?
I can hear you now, Councilwoman McCraney.
Bus driver, affordable.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you.
This is an
Councilmember
item
Benson.
requires a voice vote. All those in favor, please.
Sorry. Thank you.
She's on delay.
Mr. Champion Chair, you have 8 yes votes.
Excellent. This is an item that will be sent to the consent calendar. All right, for all you haters who didn't think we can get through 9 items quickly, yet again, we have championed something
Because you're
in
a
council.
champion.
Seeing, any objection to adjourning? Seeing none, we are adjourned.